SPON CTA related chapter 1 appointment and qualification of the director. I'll revise the topic every chapter within 10 to 15 minutes so that it will be useful for you before examination. You can revise it in a short period of time. Okay, let's go to chapter 1 appointment and qualification of the director. Section 149 company to have board of the directors. Number of the directors is minimum number of the director is 1, 2, 3, like OPC 1% company 1, private company 2, public company 3. Next, maximum number of the director is 15 and you can have more than 15 now? Yes, when you pass the special resolution. Next, maximum limit for the number of the directors is 15. No, it is not applicable to section 8 and government companies. Next, coming to the woman director. Woman director is at least one woman director need to be present, that is listed company and public company greater than or equal to 100 crores and 300 crores. In these two conditions, when any one condition if satisfies, then one woman director is compulsory and it needs to be filled immediately next board meeting or 3 months, whichever is later. Next, newly incorporated company needs to complete this provision within 6 months of its incorporation. Okay. So women director, regarding women director, we need to remember that first point, it is applicable to the listed company and public company 100 crores, 300 crores, and if any vacancy is there, then immediate next board meeting or 3 months, whichever is later, and at least one woman director need to be present. And if the company is incorporated now and it need to be filled within 6 months from the date of the vacancy of the woman director. Next, resident director who present 182 more than or equal to 192 days during the financial year, he is an resident director. Then coming to the independent director. Independent director is first which applicability you have to learn for every director. You learn first the applicability. So first is a listed company. Next, public company 10, 50, 100, which is P is public. P is paid up share capital. L is borrowings. T is turnover. Okay. See here. See only 50 crores greater should be there, not equal to. So public limited company greater than or equal to 10 crores, borrowings 50 crores, turnover 100 crores. Okay, applicability finished. Then how many number of the director need to be present in the listed company is greater than or equal to 1/12 of the total directors, and when comes to the public company it is 2 independent director. Then if now okay, now the independent director is appointed by the company. Now when there is an intermediate vacancy, then it will be filled by the board in immediate next board meeting or 3 months, whichever is later. Same as for the women director. For independent director also immediately next board meeting or 3 months, whichever is later. If the above limits is breached, we will have to appoint independent director for next 3 years. Okay. Next, director other than MD, WTD or nominee director. MD is managerial director, WTD is whole-time director. Other than these 3 people, these are the qualifications and the things need to independent director need to have. What is that? Person of integrity, expertise and experience, not a promoter of the cash. Cash means what? Company, associate company, subsidiary company, holding company, not related to partner of the director. Next, not having a pecuniary. We have to remember this 2 years. This limit is very important. So for everything there is a 2 years limit only. First, pecuniary relationship. Next, holding security, indebtedness, guarantee, 2 years. For everything 2 years. Remember that he should not have 2 years of the 2 years in previous. After that only. Next, but there is an exceptions to this. Now relative. If now I am an independent director, my relative is holding security, he can hold up to 50 lakhs or 2% of the paid up share capital. If it exceeds, then I am not eligible to appoint as an independent director. So these are all the exceptions. He can have this much limits. Now indebtedness, how much? 50 lakhs. Guarantee 50 lakhs. Everything 50 lakhs only security is 2% of the paid up share capital, and pecuniary relationship is 2% of the turnover or income, and he should not have last preceding 2 financial years. Next, he and his relative is not a KMP employee. However, relative can be employee, but the independent director cannot be an employee, cannot be a KMP also, but relative can be an employee. for last 3 years. Next, not an employee proprietor partner for 3 years. And next, holding with relatives greater than or equal to 2% of the voting power in the company in which he is an independent director. CEO director of NPO that receives greater than or equal to 25% from the cash, holds greater than or equal to 2% of the voting power. This also. Next, this is the independent. Just remember what is the applicability, if the vacancy is filled, how much and how many number of the directors need to be appointed, and what these numbers. 2 years, 50 lakhs, 2%. That's all enough. Next, data bank. Data bank is nothing but insetting all the details of the independent director. That the data bank will keep its name for 1 year, 5 years, lifetime. It is chosen by the independent director. That's all. And it is a lifetime renewal. If you want how many years you kept, that many years. If 1 year you kept in the data bank, and after 1 year you have to do renewal. That's all. That is, it is not an important. Next, coming to the self-assessment. This is an independent director qualification. He should pass an exam. He should have this. This is also not an important. And coming to the small shareholder director, every listed company, it may appoint one director elected by the small shareholders, and the small shareholders who will, now for example, in a company there are 100 shareholders. In those shareholders, the shareholders who have less than or equal to 20,000 rupees of the shares, 20,000 rupees value of the shares, they are called small shareholders. They combinedly will ask the company to appoint a small shareholder director for them. So for whom this is applicable, and means only for listed companies. You should remember, only for listed companies, and it appoints one director, and who will request who have less than or equal to 20,000 rupees. And how many number of members need to be request means, like greater than or equal to 1,000 small shareholders, or greater than or equal to 1/10 of the total number of the shareholders, whichever is lower. Remember, whichever is lower. 1/10 of the total number of the shareholders, and they should give, the small shareholders shall give notice at least 14 days before the meeting. Okay, now fine, you have appointed the small shareholder director, and he is not liable, retired by rotation. I'll discuss what is the rotation. And one tenure of the maximum 3 years, no association with the company for next 3 years. Once he appointed, he can give his service for 3 years, and the cooling period is 3 years. He cannot appoint to the same company for more than 3 years. A person can be small shareholder director of maximum 2 companies, provided this company is not in the competing business. So he can be a small shareholder director. He can act as small shareholder director in more than one company, only up to 2 companies only. Okay, fine. Now what are the types of the directors we have seen? Small shareholder director we have seen, independent director, women director, every resident director we have seen. Now coming to the how to appoint the director, what are the requirements to appoint the director? First, it should be written in the articles of the association. If not written in the articles of the association, then subscribers will become the first directors. Okay. Around minute. Okay. Subscribers will become the first director. Next, other provisions is he should have compulsory DIN. Without DIN it is impossible. Yes, now DIN is compulsory. And appointment of the director, he should give his consent. Company file the consent with the register, and the register, and those and all, it's a normal thing. No MCQs will be asked, so leave it. Next, the directors will hold the office. See, in general meeting, the directors will be appointed. If in the articles of the association need to be written. If the articles of the association not written means, then subscribers to the memorandum will become the first directors. Now I told now rotation, I will explain. This is retirement by the rotation. This is applicable only to the public companies. Small shareholders applicable only to the listed companies, as I have said earlier. So public company retirement by the rotation means, in the articles of the association they can mention all the directors they can retire. If the article of the association will not mention anything, then 2/3 of the directors, 2/3 of the total number of the directors liable for the rotation. In the 2/3, see for example, take 9 directors are there in the company. 2/3, how much? 3 2s are 6. These are liable for the rotation. Okay, in this must 1/3 of the people means how many? 2. So 2 directors must retire from the company, which means they should leave the company. This is retirement by the rotation concept. So it is applicable only to the public company, and 2/3 of the directors liable for the rotation, and 1/3 of the must retire from the company. Okay. Next, 2/3 means rounding off is done. 1/3 means nearest rounding off the means 0.5 like that. Okay. Next, appointment of the see, for example, in annual general meeting, the directors who are retired in this vacancy will fill the other directors. In AGM, if we not fill the new director, see, if the vacancy is not filled, it is not resolved till the vacancy. Meeting stands adjourned to the next week same date. In annual general meeting, the vacancy is not filled by the company, then the annual general meeting will be adjourned to the next week, same day, same time, place. But if it is a national holiday, then succeeding day. But in annual, the adjourned meeting also not appointed means, then retiring director who we removed from the company, they can or the who are liable, the 2/3 total number of 6 directors are there, no, those are called retiring directors, no, they can reappoint again. If there are the condition, which means resolution for his appointment was not lost, he doesn't show any unwillingness to again reappoint as a director, and he is not disqualified. 162 is applicable. Ordinary special resolution need to be passed for the reappointment of them. These are the condition need to be followed. Next, coming to the, this is a DIN application. This is not necessary. If you want, you can read by yourself. Next, this is cancellation, duplication. It is all related to DIN related, so I am not going to discuss that. Then coming to the section 160. See, if you want to appoint as a director in a company, if you made an application, any person himself may apply for the directorship. A member may propose as a director. Okay. So you have to give 14 days notice before the meeting and a deposit of 1 lakh. These 2 conditions need to be followed to have a directorship, to appoint as a director in the company. If no need of the deposit, in which cases? In case of independent director, in case of director proposed by NRC. NRC is nominee remuneration committee. If no NRC, director proposed by the board. In the company, board of directors themselves, one person they are elected as an proposed as a director, or the person is proposed by the NRC committee, or the director need to appoint as in these 3 cases, no need of 1 lakh of deposit. All other than these 3 things, any other person need to deposit the 1 lakh rupees, and deposit will be refunded if he is get elected as a director, or if he gets 25 votes in favor. Okay, that is the thing. Next, additional director, alternate director, nominee director. These 3 things authorized by the articles of the association and appointed by the board of directors. The additional director will hold up to the annual general meeting, and up to agreement, nominee director also will hold the company. But when comes to the alternate director, he will not hold up to AGM, he will not hold to as per the agreement, he will hold up to the original director time period. Okay, once we'll read. Authorized by the articles of the association, and ordinary resolution need to be passed. For alternate director, remember, ordinary resolution need to be passed. You can get an MCQ. Ordinary resolution need to be passed. Appointed to act as an alternate director for outside more than 3 months. Okay, 3 months. Existing director can't act as an alternate director for any director. Okay. Next, person shall alternate director for only 1 director in the company. Alternate director for an independent director must be independent as well. Automatic reappointment not applicable to the alternate director. Up to tenure, I told you he can hold the office up to the tenure of the he can hold the office up to the tenure of the original director, or original director returns to India, whichever is earlier. Here this point and this point is very important. Only if he leaves the India for 3 months, the original director leaves the India for 3 months, then only alternate director will be appointed, and the alternate director will hold the office not up to the AGM, up to the original director time period, or original director returns to India, whichever is earlier. These points you have to remember about the alternate director. Okay na? Next. Okay. Next, what is that? Proportional representation. This is also 2/3 of the directors will be liable for the proportional representation, and is done once in a 3 years. Okay. Next, disqualification. Disqualification is very simple. Very simple. That is unsound, undischarged insolvent, adjudicated insolvent, convicted by the court more than 6 months, he cannot be available for the, and these are the condition is very important for the MCQ. Let me explain that. Okay. First point, no person who is or has been a director of the company shall reappoint in the company or appointed in any other company as a director for the 5 years. See, he cannot be reappointed or appointed as a director for 5 years if he do these 2 defaults. What are those 2 defaults? Continuously he did not file the financial statements, annual returns for the 3 years. Then he is not appointed as a director or not reappointed as a director in the existing company for 5 years. Next, has failed to repay the 3 Ds. 3 Ds means deposits, debentures, dividends for 1 year. Annual financial statements 3 years, 3 Ds for 1 year. Any person newly appointed as a director of the company mentioned above shall not incur disqualification for the 6 months. Okay, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. Okay. Next, number of the directorship. Number of the directorship, how many? 20, and this not applicable to section 8 company, and this in 2010 public companies, public company, private company which is a holding and subsidiary of public company, it is to only 10, and number of companies he can appoint as a director is 20. Okay. Next, duties of the director, you can read by yourself. Next, vacation of the director, you can read by yourself. Like if he is disqualified, he need to vacate the office. And resignation, he can give the notice to the company so and so, and he can vacate the office, so it is also not important. And what is this? Removal of the director if he possesses any disqualification, this is also okay. And register of the director or KMP and others, their shareholding, this is also not that much. Next chapter is we'll discuss in the next thing. Thank you.